Today we're making easy vegan kimchi for the first time. So gather your ingredients and meet me in the kitchen. You're going to need a Napa cabbage, rice wine vinegar, sugar, garlic, green onions, ginger, and gochugaru, which is Korean chili powder, Korean sea salt, and filtered water. Our first step is to prepare our Napa cabbage, and I thought this was kind of interesting because in my grocery stores I've never seen it called Napa cabbage before. Here it's advertised as su choy or sui choy, and it's the same thing. I had to look it up. The first thing we want to do is prepare the cabbage, and so it recommends that we cut it into quarters, remove the core, and then we're going to chop it into 2-inch pieces. Actually, I should say it's 3 pounds of the Napa cabbage, and so they call that one medium cabbage, and actually I weighed it at the grocery store and one was 3 pounds, so it was kind of perfect. And then we're going to be sprinkling on a half a cup of the Korean sea salt. Once you've sprinkled the salt on, you're going to massage it into the leaves. Then you want to add enough filtered water to come halfway up the cabbage. And then we're going to be pressing down on the cabbage to submerge it totally into that salty water. And we're gonna have to let it sit for the 2 hours. You can come and turn it every 30 minutes if you want. While the cabbage is soaking in the filtered water and the half a cup of Korean sea salt, we can move forward with creating our kimchi paste. So our first step is to grate or mince 8 to 10 cloves of garlic, which is pretty much, I just used the whole garlic bulb. And then we use 1 inch of fresh ginger grated. And then a half a cup of the gochugaru. And then it does also say that you can adjust it to taste, but I stuck with the half a cup. We'll also add 1 tablespoon of rice wine vinegar, 1.5 tablespoons of sugar, and 4 to 6 tablespoons of filtered water. We'll combine all of these ingredients together to make the kimchi paste. And what we want to do is stir it up so that it comes out like a thick paste type of texture, or like the consistency of thick jam. When you check in on your cabbage at the 2-hour mark, we want to make sure that you can roll a thick part of the leaf between your fingers. If it easily bends without snapping, it's ready to go. If it's not, or if it snaps, like if it's not kind of a little bit rubbery, I guess, then we want to keep it soaking for another 30 minutes. When that cabbage is ready, then we want to rinse it all thoroughly. And I used filtered water to do this part too. And we just want to rinse off all of the salt. So we want to drain it well, and then we'll return it to the bowl. This is when we'll add in the 6 green onions that were cut into 2-inch pieces. When you're ready to add the kimchi paste into the cabbage, we want to mix it around. So you're definitely going to want to wear gloves for this stage of the process. And once you've massaged in all of the kimchi paste, we're going to pack it tightly into our jars. And what you want to do is press down quite firmly to remove any air pockets. Kimchi is a fermented food, and fermented foods improve gut health. They help decrease inflammation and have a role to play in diabetes reversal. I'm specifically interested in giving this a try because of the decrease of inflammation. I've tried kimchi many times from the stores, and I often taste like a preservative taste or smell, and I actually have never really enjoyed it. So I wanted to give the homemade version a try. Kimchi and all fermented foods are supposed to also decrease hunger and increase satiation. Fermented foods and fiber can help reverse insulin resistance as well. So the main purpose of me trying this is to decrease my inflammation, but also to find a recipe that I actually like. We're going to pour in filtered water if necessary to keep the cabbage completely submerged. The great part is you can enjoy this after 2 hours for fresh kimchi. For fermentation, you're going to leave the jars out in room temperature for 1 to 5 days. And then you're going to do some taste tests to see at what point along the timeline that you actually like the taste. As soon as you find the taste you like between the 1 and 5 days, you're then going to put it into the fridge. Okay, here we are. I've got the kimchi that we had done yesterday, and now we're on day 1 of it room temperature. So we're at day 1. It can be out for day 1 to 5, and you can test it to see for flavor. And then once you decide you love the flavor, then it goes into the fridge. So this is day 1 trial, and I'm thinking, I might like it. I'm not sure. I've never been one to like the store-bought kimchi, but I'm going to give this a try. But it really looks actually fresh and nice, and it smells delicious. It smells much better than the ones I bought in store. So I'm going to give this is my first try. Okay, the texture is excellent, and actually the spice and the heat is probably absolutely perfect for me. So I think mine are gonna all go in the fridge today. So I think if I waited longer, it's just gonna get spicier. And for me, this has quite a kick. So this is by far, if I compared it to the store-bought ones that I've had, and I've tried quite a few, this is by far my favorite. Yeah, and that's the truth. I've been giving kimchi a bad rap all this time, I think, because I think when I buy it in the store, I taste like a preservative type taste or something, or maybe it's been fermented too long. This one is so fresh, and I think it's only because we've only left it fermenting for 1 day, but it's really impressed me because of the freshness of it. So I actually think that this recipe and this experiment kind of has completely changed my view on kimchi, and I think I'm adding it into the repertoire now, especially for my anti-inflammatory like food products that I'm trying to introduce into my diet more. And I think this one's a keeper. Cut.